Some of us may not be able to get through this part of the journey by ourselves. You may have to consult with a therapist or a life coach because it can be difficult. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but if you are on the journey of truly finding out who you are, it is well worth it, because I feel like each and every one of us is well worth the search, the journey of figuring out who we are. Hello everyone, I am back 2.0. So I missed about 2 weeks because I looked like a vagabond. I was in the process of taking my braids out, a process that normally would take me about 2 days to do, and I literally took 2 weeks. So finally got them out, and here we are. So we are still on this journey of finding out who we are and who I am. And so even though I haven't been live and shooting the videos, I still have been on this journey to discover who I am, to discover the parts of me that were something that I fabricated on my own, and the parts of me that are truly authentic. And have I really gone as deep as who I really am? Do I really know all that I deeply possess, like all of my innate qualities? Do I know my complete purpose? I know some of the things, but do I know like all the intricate things and all the intricate parts of me who have made me into the woman I am today? So the first thing I think that we have to do in order to go along this journey, and something that I've been doing, is a saging of the mind. Now, even if you are not a person who's into saging, which is cool, no problem. I'm not a huge sager, but I understand the principle of it, and I am very in love with the principle. Saging, is good for the purpose of clearing out energy, especially negative energy, into a space, and and also clearing the mind. Making a space feel better, taking out all that negative energy. And so that's what you have to do first. You have to clear out the negative energy in your mind that tells you who you are. That's not true. And so a lot of those things that tells us who we are stemmed from situations. Like a lot of us, we become who we are, right? We become strong because we had to be strong. There was something that happened and we had to rise to the occasion and be a strong person in that certain situation. Or we may have experienced some type of trauma, and because of that, we've built a response or a guard around us where we don't let people get in. So all of those things are a response. That's not who you are. You're not a guarded person. You are a guarded person because of the response of the trauma that you've never really been healed from. And so as a defense mechanism, you use that to stop anyone else from causing that same harm that you felt that was so deep to you. So what do we have to do? We have to figure out, what are all of those things that stop us? What are our defense mechanisms? Why are we so guarded? What happened? What are the traumas that you do remember? Write them down. Because I promise, what I've learned is there are things that we suppress, and it's because we've never really dealt or tapped into those things that are on the surface. And so they will come out at sometimes the wrong time. And you learn things about yourself like, wait, where did this come from? How did I end up in this space? Because you've never dealt with things that nag at you. Like, I feel like one of the things that for me personally is dreaming. If I feel like I have resolved an issue, I've come to a great resolution with something, but then I start having dreams about that situation, I have not resolved it yet. That means there's something still suppressed. So then I have to sit down, I have to write it out, and I have to figure out how I got there, or consult with someone to help me get through it. And some of us may not be able to get through this part of the journey by ourselves. You may have to consult with a therapist or a life coach because it can be difficult. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, but if you are on the journey of truly finding out who you are, it is well worth it, because I feel like each and every one of us is well worth the search, the journey of figuring out who we are. There are so many people who live, so many people who die not knowing who they were really created to be. And how heartbreaking is that, to live a life of joys and pains and never really knowing who you are? never really knowing who you were truly created to be. Like, how heartbreaking is that? Like, when you get to heaven and God says, do you feel like you finished the assignment? And your response is, well, God, I didn't know what the assignment was. How heartbreaking, right? How heartbreaking. So what if we could change that whole thought process and get to that right now? Right? It's a journey. That's what we're here. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna be some tough days. I've already cried on this journey, y'all. I've cried. I've sat down and say, how did I become this person? How did I do this? Like, why do I have these these superpowers, as I call them? But we have to figure out how to move forward, because if we do not deal with the pain part of this, or the defense mechanism, they are going to keep showing up. And I will show you how they show up next time when we talk about the little girl or the little boy that's within us. But for today, let's sage our mind, turn on some music, whatever makes you feel soothed and relax. Dim the lights, whatever, light some candles, whatever it is that you have to do, burn a candle, all of that stuff. Sit down, figure out what those things are, write it out. It is time, guys, to figure out who you are. Let's start with the defense mechanisms, and let's start with the saging of our minds. So I will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.